Hello everyone, in this lecture we will discuss about the last content of rail, that is the creep of rail. So what is creep of rail? It is defined as the longitudinal movement of rails with respect to sleepers in a track. That means it is observed that the rails somehow move slightly from its original position in its longitudinal direction, and that movement of the rail from its original position is known as the creep of rail, and that movement is always in its longitudinal direction, okay, not in the lateral direction. For example, let in the initial stage the rail is laid like this, okay. Let this is a rail, and in the initial stage this is laid like this. So if after some days, if we will see that the position of the rail is like this, that mean the rail has moved some distance from its original position in its longitudinal direction, okay. So it is the longitudinal direction, okay, and it is the lateral direction, okay. It is the longitudinal direction. So here you can see the rail has moved some distance from its original position in its longitudinal direction, okay, and that longitudinal movement of the rail is known as the creep of rail, okay. Then next is indications of creep, okay. So how we will know that the creep has occurred, okay. So the first point is closing of successive expansion spaces at rail joints in the direction of creep, and opening out of joints at the point from where creep starts, okay. That means let here one rail is there, then here another rail is there, and here another rail is there, okay. Let the gap is kept between two rail is 5 centimeter. I have already discussed that in case of rail joint there should be some gap between the two rail ends so that the rail can freely expand and contract, okay. For that purpose there should be some space between the two rail ends at the joint, okay. So here also let the space is kept 5 centimeter, okay. Here also the space is kept 5 centimeter, okay. So this is the initial stage. Let after 1 month we have seen that the rail positions are like this, okay. That means we examine that here the space between the two rail ends at the joint is 8 centimeter, and here the space is 2 centimeter, okay. That means here you can see the closing of here you can see the opening out of joint has occurred, okay, and in this case the closing of expansion spaces has occurred, okay. That means you can see here this rail, okay, this rail has moved 3 centimeter from its original position in its longitudinal direction, okay. That means the creep has occurred in this rail, okay. So for which here the opening out of joint has occurred, and here the closing of expansion spaces has occurred, okay. So from this case we can know that the creep has occurred in rails, okay. From this condition we can know that the creep has occurred, okay. So this is one indication. Then another indication is marks on flanges and waves of rails made by spike heads by scratching as the rail slide. Okay, if we will see some scratch marks on the rail waves and flanges, then from that also we can assure that maybe the creep has occurred in rail. Okay, so these are indications. Then next is causes of creep. Okay, so what are the causes for which the creep is occurring? Okay, so the first point is wave motion of train. Okay, so the first point is wave motion of train. So the creep is developed due to the wave motion of wheels on rails. Okay, due to movement of wheel loads on rails, the rail deflects as a continuous beam and crests are formed near supports. That means that here the rail is laid, okay, over the sleepers. Over the sleepers, these are sleepers and this is the rail. Okay, the rail is laid over the sleepers. Okay, so due to the movement of trains, this rail may deflect like a continuous beam. Here you can see here the rail section is acting as a continuous beam. Okay, and here the wheel load of the train is the transverse load. Okay, and we know that a beam is what? When a member is subjected to any transverse load, that is called as beam. Okay, so here also we can tell the rail as a steel beam or steel girder. Okay, so here also due to the moment of train and due to the wheel load of train, the rail may deflect like the continuous beam. Okay, so due to the movement of rail, the rail may deflect like this. Okay, so here you can see, here in case of support means in case of at the position of sleeper, the crests are formed. Okay, due to the movement of rail, obviously this will deflect, this part will deflect downward. Okay, and at the position of sleeper and at the support, the crest will form. Okay, so next, when wheel of train strike against this crest, okay, so when wheel of train strike against this crest, creep is developed. Okay, because the wheel push the wave with a tendency to force the rail in the direction of traffic. Okay, for which the creep is occurring due to the wave action of trains or due to the wave motion of trains. Okay, then the next point is expansion and contraction of rails due to variation in temperature. Okay, so creep also occurs due to variation in temperature. The creep in this case is influenced by the range in temperature variation, then location of track, then whether it is exposed to hotter areas or shady surroundings. Okay, it depends upon the place and the range of temperature variation. Okay, then the next point is due to starting, accelerating, slowing down and stopping of trains. Okay, when a train is starting or accelerating, the backward thrust of the engine driving full tend to push the rail backward direction, and when it is slowing down or deaccelerating or coming to stop, then the braking effect tends to push the rails in forward direction, for which the creep occurs. Okay, then the next point is unbalanced traffic. Okay, so in a single line system, if heavy equal traffic runs in both directions, then the creep is almost balanced. But otherwise, if heavy traffic is occurring in one direction, then it will cause creep which is partly balanced by light traffic in opposite direction. Okay, so if in the both the directions the amount of traffic or the load is same in both the direction, then the creep also is same in both the direction, then it will balanced. Okay, if heavy traffic is occurring in one direction only, then the creep will occur in that direction only. Okay, and it may be balanced by the light traffic in opposite direction. Okay, then the next point is greater on curves. Okay, so generally the creep is observed greater on curves than on straight railway track. The next is more with steep gradient. So creep is more with steep gradient, particularly if the trains move downward with heavy loads. Okay, then the next point is poor maintenance of track. Okay, so due to the poor maintenance of track components and ill design of super elevation, curves, joints, for which the creep also occurs. Okay, so these are some factors for which the creep is occurring. The next is effects of creep. The first point is expansion gap is reduced, buckling of track takes place. Okay, that means if there will be no sufficient gap between two rail ends at the joint, then the rail can't expand freely. Okay, so it will try to buckle in the lateral direction. Okay, so due to the lack of expansion gap, the thermal stress will exert in the rail, then it will try to buckle in the lateral direction. Here you can see how the rails are buckled in the lateral direction. Okay, then the next point is sleepers are moved out of a square. As we know that the main function of the sleeper is to hold the rails in its original position. Okay, in its position. If the rails are moving in the longitudinal direction, then it will exert stress on the sleepers also. Then the sleeper also will try to move with the rail, for which the sleepers may moved out from its position. Okay, then the next point is rail joints are open, stresses are set up in fish plates and bolts. Okay, so the fish plates and bolts are used to connect two rail ends and to keep them in its position. Okay, so if the rails are moving in its longitudinal direction, then it will also exert stress in the fish plate and the bolt. Okay, then maybe the connection may failure due to that, and the rail joints are opened. Okay, and there may be chances of derail. Okay, so these are some effects of creep. The next is prevention of creep. So how will we prevent the creep? So the first method is pulling back the rails. Okay, so if creep is distinctly visible, then the remedy is to pull back the rails to their original position. Okay, so if the creep we can see the creep has occurred distinctly, then there is the way to pull back the rails to their original position. That means we have to pull back the rail to the distance moved by the rail. Okay, we have to back them to its original position. So for doing this, first inspect the track, note the extent of pulling back distance. Okay, so how much distance it has moved. Okay, and after knowing that, we can decide that how much distance we will pull back the rail. Okay, so first inspect the track, then note the extent of pulling back the distance, and determine the point from which to begin. Okay, and determine the point from which place the creep has occurred. Okay, then now start pulling the rails back to their original positions by means of crowbars and hooks provided through fish bolt holes of rail. Okay, so first inspect the track, then note how much distance the rail has moved and how much distance we will try to pull back the rail. Okay, then inspect the position from which point the creep has occurred. Okay, then after doing that, just disconnect the rail joint. Okay, just disconnect the fish plates and bolts. Okay, then after that just insert the hooks or crowbars in the bolt holes, then try to pull back the rail to the distance to achieve its original position. Okay, so pulling back the rail is a very slow and tedious process and is only possible when a small length is to be drilled. Okay, so as the pulling back of the rail is a very slow process, so we will apply this method if any case only small length of movement has occurred. Okay, in that case only we will go for pulling back of the rails. Okay, then the next point is provision of anchors, or we can say the anchors as anti-creepers, which will prevent the creep from happening. Okay, so the creep of the track can be prevented by use of anchors and sufficient ballast. For creep of 7.5 cm to 15 cm in a month, 4 anchors per rail, and for creep of 22.5 cm to 25 cm, 6 anchors per rail are used in the Indian practice. Okay, so for creep of 7.5 cm to 15 cm, we will give 4 anchors per rail. Okay, and for creep of 22.5 cm to 25 cm, we will give 6 anchors. Okay, so anchors are like anti-creepers that will prevent the creep from happening. Okay, so here you can see the anchors. Okay, here you can see this is the anchor. Okay, this is the anchor. This will help to prevent the creep. It will keep the rail in its position only. Okay, so anchors are generally fastened to the foot of rail. Here you can see the anchor of the rail is fastened to the foot of rail with the slipper. Okay, this is the foot of rail. This is the foot of rail. Okay, so anchors are fastened to the foot of rail and kept in perfect contact with the side of the slipper being the side opposite to the direction of creep. Okay, so if the creep is occurring in this direction, then we will give the creep in its opposite direction, and if the creep is occurring in both the direction, then we will give the creep if the creep is occurring in this direction, then we will give the anchor in this direction, in its opposite direction. Okay, and if the creep is occurring in both the direction, then we will give the anchor in both the direction. Okay, so this is also one method to prevent the creep by providing the anchors or anti-creepers. Then the next point is, and the next method is use of steel slippers. Okay, So generally by increasing the number of sleepers also helps in the prevention of creep. Okay, and and the prevention of creep also depends upon the type of sleep, which type of sleepers we are using in the railway track. So sleepers should be of such a type and with such fittings that they effectively prevent the rail from creeping on them. Secondly, the sleeper must have a good grip with the ballast to resist the movement of the sleepers in the ballast also. So, steel sleepers are the best for this purpose. Okay, so here the steel sleepers are the best for this purpose. So, we can use the steel sleepers to prevent the creep also. Okay, so these are three methods to prevent the creep. Okay, so this much all about the theory about the creep of rail. Then in the next lecture we will discuss about the next component, that is slipper. Thank you.